How are we starting this?
I don't know. Do you want to do that, our funny intro every time?
Yeah, we do it every time.
Okay. Hello!
And welcome to
The Family
Bob and Enya!
So, before Enya starts laughing, we're on day 3 of our 30-day countdown, or 28 days to go until we fly. That's super exciting.
This is so exciting!
But today we thought...
Oh. I was like, are you going to continue or what? We thought that maybe you'd like to know how this whole thing started.
Yes, the interesting story of the beginning of the Family Bob and Enya.
So how Bob and I met.
Yeah.
Which was a bit unorthodox.
It's an interesting way of meeting.
But it was during unorthodox times.
It was.
So...
We met in the first lockdown.
Yep.
The beginnings of all of this weird stuff that happened over the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how it worked.
That's how it worked. That was it. It was just like lockdown, just met, done.
Sitting at home, playing on the old Instagram. Some people got to stay home from work, some people didn't. I didn't. And you got half time off, didn't you? You were working...
Yeah. I did 1 week on, 1 week off.
Yeah.
And the lockdown craziness hit.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was watching this YouTube channel called Movie Bitches, and they review movies and they review Drag Race, and on their Instagram they started doing like a daily dance video, and so I saw them doing it, and they used to do it based off of like scenes from films or songs that had been in films. Mm-hmm. And I thought they were really cool, and I decided I was gonna participate in it because they wanted people to do it, and I had my Winifred Sanders costume, so I decided to do I Put a Spell on You, Hocus Pocus. Mm-hmm. And I lip synced to the entire thing, did a little dance routine, and I put it up on my Instagram stories.
You did.
People really enjoyed it. And then from there I kind of decided, well, that was a bit fun and a way to kill some time. So I started trying to look through all of my wardrobe and see what I had that I could try and do other Disney songs with. And from there, it ended up being a daily thing that I did, and I would dress up as the characters and I would post the video on my Instagram.
You did.
And so that was me in my madness doing that by myself in my spare room. And yeah, I just put it up there, and then the next thing was I put up a particular video, mm-hmm. Which was me as LeFou, dancing around to the song Gaston.
Yes.
Which, if we have editing skills, might be able to put in now. Who knows?
It disturbs me to see you, Gaston, looking so down in the dumps. Every guy here loves to see you, Gaston, even when taking your lumps.
So on that day that you put up that video, mm-hmm. I had also been cycling to work with my earphones in, and it so happened that the same song came on while I was cycling to work. I happened to be cycling past some sheep while singing loudly. And then, when I watched Enya's video, I thought, that's the sort of person who would find it interesting that I had been singing the same song to some sheep. So I thought, why not message her and say that? We were following each other somehow from before, I've no idea how.
Yeah, no idea, because I didn't really know anything about you.
No.
It was clearly one of those things where I just...
had done at some point. And it just
maybe it was one
there.
of those, I did a lot of the follow for follow trains for a while. So maybe it was like... Cool. Yeah, so maybe I followed you then, I don't know.
Yeah. So, and you did find it interesting that I was singing the same song to some sheep.
I did.
I also was telling some sheep that I was Moana that morning, and they were interested Enya was also interested.
To which my answer to that was, as you said, I was telling some sheep that I am Moana. I went, they need to know, obviously.
Yeah. And then from then, we spoke every day. I commented on all your dance videos.
Yep.
You were delighted by all of my interesting videos that time I went on an expedition.
The time that you went on the expedition.
I went camping in my garden, and I made out that it was a huge travel out into the wilderness. Today I've decided we're going to go on an adventure. So I've got my stuff laid out here that I'm going to need. Just need to pack into this bag, and we'll head on out.
And it was so funny because at the same time you were posting the videos, and then you were texting me.
Yeah.
And I found it so funny because you were just texting me, just being like, I've put up my tent now.
You know, the tent's all set up.
And then I would see you just being like, oh, here looks like a good spot to make camp for the night. And it was just so funny. And I, being basically like a teenage girl with a major crush, thought this was so cute and like, oh, it's so secretive. It's just like, no one knows that he's messaging me at the same time. It's like, who would have cared? But in my little head, I was like...
And that was back when lockdown was really good, when everyone was having a great time and like putting up silly videos and all being together. And
just having looked out for some wildlife, I think I saw an elephant. Yeah, definitely. No, 2, 3, 4. Actually, there's all her elephants.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good time. And then you were doing your videos, and then I did my around Magic Kingdom. I did my eating around Epcot, which was really, really difficult because my stomach hurt so much after that. So that's going to do it from us here at Epcot, eating in every country around World Showcase. Yeah, that was a challenge. I'd like to thank my stomach for coming with you on the journey. Definitely found it harder than I did. That was a lot of food.
I remember you sending me pictures of like what was left.
There was a lot left.
And I was just like, I'm jealous, I want food.
I know, you were just, I want the cinnamon rolls, I want cinnamon rolls. So we have to eat cinnamon rolls when we go to Florida, actually.
Yeah.
Because that was one of our big talking points.
Yeah, cinnamon rolls. And peanut butter.
And peanut butter. We like peanut butter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, from then, we spoke every day on the old Instagram. And then we decided we needed to have a video date.
Well, you decided, you asked me out.
I did.
You had some Dutch courage, and you... Oh, I had said that I was seeing musicals. So before, it's just like, oh, I remember this. Before, my New Year's resolution for 2020, before went under, was that I was going to go and see a new musical every month. Which I had managed to do up until everything shut, and I was saying that to you, and I was just like, yeah, I'd really love to go back and be seeing the shows again. And then then you just messaged after a long pause and went, well, maybe sometime we could see a show together.
It was funny though, because at the time my phone was doing some interesting things, like just sending random pictures and phoning people and just like halfway through messages just sending stuff, so I had to make sure I wrote it on like the notes and then copied and pasted it, because I didn't want to write it and it just randomly sent. Because,
I didn't know that.
No, I did that. Well, because my phone was really weird and it would randomly just halfway through messages just send them and things like that, so I didn't want to start writing and then it wasn't right. So, smooth moves from me, of which Enya of course said yes.
Yeah.
So then we had a video chat, and then we proceeded to have Friday night dates, where we would just speak to each other for
I remember
a long
being
time.
Terrified.
Yeah, I was pretty nervous as well, actually.
Well, I was terrified for that date, but I was terrified of finding out, because I was starting to really like you. Before you asked me out, I was starting to really like you. And I just remember being terrified going, where does he live? And trying to figure out where he lived, because I was like, this is going to be heartbreaking if I end up really liking this guy and he likes me, and then it turns out that you're like, I don't know, like 6-7 hours away. It's like, it's just not doable.
We were a while away because you used to live beside Cambridge and then I live beside Oxford, so it's not close.
No.
But
it was doable.
Oh yeah, it was like an hour and 40 minutes or something.
Yeah, so we were lucky in that aspect.
Funnily enough, a friend, through a friend, was doing the same thing that we did, and they were messaging for ages, and then it turned out they lived on the same street.
Really?
Yeah. So then they got together. Good old lockdown, eh?
I didn't know that. You didn't tell me that story.
My friends told me that.
Huh.
Funny.
I'm in shock that you didn't tell me this.
Sorry. So we had our first night, a Friday night date, which we spoke for, what, 6.5 hours or something?
I don't think we got to 6.5. I think we got to 5.5.
Did we? It was a long time.
And that was because...
It was a good conversation.
It was because Enya needed a lot of Dutch courage for the date and had to abruptly end it so that I could make my way to the bathroom.
Well, it was a good day, of which Enya was dressed like Olaf because she had been doing that video that day.
That was it. I was still doing my daily...
Yeah,
my daily...
like this.
So I was done up in my Olaf outfit.
Yeah.
To which then you always made points about you liking Olaf.
Oh yeah.
So that was it. So on one of our kind of initial like actual dates, I guess, I had said that I was like going to the shops, and you were like, bring me a present.
Oh yeah, I've been silly. I said, buy me a present.
Because that's what you do when you're like a kid and you're like, get me a surprise. So I actually found a very small little Olaf teddy.
So after several Friday night dates, which then also turned into Saturday night dates and Sunday
night
daytime.
dates. Well, it was Sunday night dates if I wasn't working the week.
Yeah.
Because then I would be off the Monday to Friday. And that was when you would then...
Yeah, because on our first date, my company went and we shut down for 5 weeks, and then we opened up again. So
yeah,
which was fantastic, by the way. I highly recommend taking 5 weeks off work. It was great.
So yeah, that was it. So you weren't then working, so I could do it. But yeah, I went from that, and then we were trying to figure out how to work things so that we could watch movies and stuff together.
Yeah, back in those times when you watch, like, phone someone and all press play at the same time.
Yeah, that's what we were doing, because they didn't really have the whole group chat, the group watch thing. It wasn't like, I don't know if it wasn't working
didn't start yet, because it only started when WandaVision came out. That's when they started doing it.
So
it didn't work there well either.
I can't remember. I feel like they might have had it, but it just didn't work. They had it on Netflix, I'm sure. Okay. And maybe it was just because Disney Plus was very new.
Disney Plus came out on the day of lockdown here. Yeah. Which was like, everyone was like, Walt and you, sort of say. It was good though. Disney Plus was great back then. Yeah, so I remember just being like, on the phone, being like, ready, 3, 2, 1, go! And then it would be like, you play. But then because we were such absolute dorks, we would have each other on video chat as well. So that way we could be like, yeah, but it was a different thing to be speaking about it. Like you speaking about it and then being able to like turn around and go, oh, what did you think of that? Yeah, no, that was fun. So yeah, so needless to say, we were both a bit invested in the relationship. We were. And then Sport Bubbles came along, which meant we could finally meet up. Yeah. So I drove around to Enya's house. And you brought me cookies. Oh yeah, I did, Mickey shaped ones. Yeah. This was his way of charming me. Well, I think it worked. Mickey shaped cookies. Disney food. Yep. And then because I wanted to show off and impress, we went on a picnic. We did. Which I bought about 30 quid's worth of cheese. I like cheese. To try and show off. And then we both brought baked camembert. Yeah. So I bought, because I've got a dish that you bake them in. Yeah. And I bought camembert, you bought camembert. I bought camembert. And you know, match made in cheese. Yep. And then I had organised for us to go to the zoo. Yes, we had a zoo date. Yep. So we went to the zoo. It was lots of fun. It was really good. I enjoyed that. And I came around on the Friday and left on Tuesday morning. So that's a good first date. Good sign. Yeah. So yeah, and then basically after that it was
every Friday,
Mm-hmm.
either you coming to my house
Yep.
or me going to your house.
Yes.
Which thank God it's not now, because no way in hell I could have
Oh,
afforded the
prices
petrol.
then. Back then it was okay, but
Yeah.
now that'd be expensive.
No way in hell.
Yep.
I mean, I'm leaving my current job due to the commute and the sheer cost of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's like, what, 45 to 50 minutes?
It's a long way to drive.
Whereas, you know, it was an hour and 45
Oh,
to get
yeah.
to you.
Worth it.
Yeah, I guess you were worth it.
And then we ended up moving in together.
That was it. I was having a very rough time at my last job.
Mm-hmm.
We had, so what, we were like officially together, like in June.
June 2020,
And,
yeah.
Yeah, I was,
in December.
we moved in December.
Christmas Eve. Well, I mean, we got the house beforehand, but
Yeah.
the day you moved fully
Yeah.
was Christmas Eve.
So it was like come November time that I was really, really struggling at
Yeah,
work. And Bob basically just went, he was like, just come and live with me.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like, forget it, come and live with me, have a fresh start. He's like, I will look after you. And I mean, for a guy who, what, we'd been dating 4 months?
Oh, June to ages.
June, July, August, September, October. Okay, so 5 months.
Yeah, but we started speaking in March, and we had that long period of, we had about a month of talking, and then
It's a really
5,
good
6
way
weeks
to
of chatting
like,
or something.
it's a really good way to like know that, you know, you guys work. And
Yeah.
like when I met you, it felt like I'd known you for ages.
Mhm.
And I think it worked out
Our-
really nicely.
Our first date was like 4 days.
Yeah.
And then all our dates were 3 days or 4 days.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like we just went out for dinner, had a chat, and then went home or anything. So
Yeah. It was all,
we got to spend lots of time together.
yeah. I used to say that you were my second job.
You used to speak a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
8-9 hour
conversations.
conversations.
Fun.
It's ridiculous.
Weird. Yeah, time flies.
We don't even speak that much now.
Try not to. So we moved in together in 2020, Christmas Eve.
It's awful.
Of which then we... when did we start looking? July, August? Might be earlier than that because we applied for the mortgage. So
Yeah.
and I don't know why we started looking for a house.
We were getting sick of the house we were in.
The one where I was actually allergic to the house we were in, which
Yeah.
my skin was horrendous. I didn't really realise it was that. And then when we left, it's much better.
Yeah.
So
We were starting to get sick of that house,
and
and
the landlords
we were,
were or the estate and the manager were
Yeah.
really bad.
so we were then at that point and we're like, God, you know, renting was so expensive, and it
Mhm.
was just like, oh, if you were to buy, and then we started looking into it, and then we're like, oh,
These all.
this kind of makes a bit more sense, and then we decided to go for it.
I had a property before which I sold, so that's how we had money. We didn't just have it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, we wouldn't have been able to buy a house. So
No, especially not where we are.
yes.
But
So we started looking in July, August.
yeah, I had been looking the entire time just because we'd been mentioning it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had been looking on Rightmove and everything pretty much the entire time. So I knew when things came up if they were worth it or not, or how
Yeah.
quickly they would go. So once this house came up, we
We were
we were the
second people.
we
to
were the
view
second
it.
people
Yeah.
to view it, and
And that was
we
on the
did it on the Saturday,
We
and
bought it on
then
the Monday.
we put in our offer the Monday, and we had it accepted because I just went, this is the house and this is gonna go quick, and we were so lucky because it had actually fallen through. It
It
had
was
sold,
yeah, sold and then it fell through.
and then it fell through, and yeah, and then we moved in January.
Yeah, we had to wait from the start of August until January to move in, but now we're here.
And we've still not been to Disneyland. We've been to Disneyland.
We've been to Disneyland Paris, yeah,
Been to Disneyland Paris.
which was real good.
That was my 30th birthday present, and it was amazing.
So we're now living together, got the house, now we need to get to Disney in 28 days. So that's quite a long story of how we met.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to try and keep these videos a bit briefer to make it easier for us to edit, but
But I'm not the only one who likes to talk, apparently.
well, you know. So that's the story of how the Family Bob and Enya started. hopefully you enjoyed it. If you want to hear any more about our stupidness or ask us some questions, then let us know.
Exactly.
But yeah, or if you met in lockdown, or you know someone who did, or something along those lines, that is a nice story to come out of all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Really, it was a great time for us because we were still in the beginning stages of all the, you know, ooh this and that, ooh that. So
yeah,
we had a great time.
Yeah. I actually had someone else from work at the time.
Yeah.
Meet her boyfriend. Not through Instagram, but I think like on a
friend of a friend or something, wasn't it?
No, it was a dating.
Oh, was it? Okay.
It was a dating like app, I think, and yeah, basically went out, had a picnic, did the same. So it was like the pair of us. I think I was like maybe a week or two before her with my, you know, internet love life, which at the time, because nothing was happening, everyone at work was like, tell us everything. So it was it. So it was me and her, and they're still happily together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
craziness.
Good stories.
All right. So anyway, thanks for being with us through this. If you got to the end, well done.
I know, right?
And we will see you tomorrow for something else about Disney.
For another video.
Yes.
Right. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, bye.
Bye.
Nailed it. Boom.
Shikalika, boom. Shikalika, boom. Shikalika. Muppet Treasure Island is the best.
We watched the Muppets, the entire Muppets set of films as well while we were in our beginning stages. I hadn't seen any of them and they're real good.
They're unreal.
Muppets Treasure Island was a good night.
Muppet Treasure Island is the best.
We had a few appletinis when we watched that and it was really fun.
Muppets Break Manhattan, or yeah, Muppets Break Manhattan? I can't remember. Or Muppets in Manhattan. That was always my favourite one. It's just like, Pipples is Pipples. Frogs, it's not Pipples.